How's everybody doing? Hope good. Just a couple of things for this week. First, would start with a couple of announcements. The first one is I actually have them written down right here. Is I've been looking at curriculum and stuff that we talked about that Aaron brought to our attention at the leaders meeting. If you weren't there, he mentioned it might be good to transition, not transition, but do some teachings or some small group lessons on some other areas, and what does that look like. And so he mentioned money and a financial piece for teens. He also mentioned kind of what we believe and different things along those areas. We talked about dating. And so I got online, and a couple of things that I found was I did get on the financial piece, or I looked it up for teens, and they actually have a series of teachings. It's a three-part deal, and it's called Generation Change, and it looks pretty good. And so it has three different segments of it. The first one is Be Who God Created, and so it talks a lot about kind of that identity piece. And then the second part is do more with your money, and so it is the financial piece. And then the last part is go write your story, and so it talks about college and applying for college and school debt and how do you pay for college and different things of that nature, as well as what do you want to do with your life and what does that look like. And so I'm going to put a link on this post that you can click on and take a look at, and each of the three are three lessons, and so it's a total of 9. And so I don't know if it looks good. I didn't order it because to get all three lessons, it's like $200 because it comes with a DVD. Each lesson has a 25 to 30 minute teaching from Dave Ramsey and his daughter, and so it could be a thing where we do the first Be Who God Created You to Be, like in 10th grade, do more with your money in 11th grade, and go write your story in 12th grade, maybe in the fall of each one. Don't have to, or it could be something that we just do all combined into one deal for somebody. And it's 3 lessons, but could potentially make it more, it would be my guess, or less, however we wanted to do it, or create a retreat for that age group and they go off and they talk about it. I think the possibilities are endless, but once again, you can get on. There's different videos previewing each section or previewing the whole package and what that looks like. So if you have time, it's not immediate, doesn't have to be this week, but you can preview that and see what you think. Also got on and found I knew there was a series on from Barefoot Ministries, which is a Nazarene thing, on vital beliefs, which looks at the Trinity and the Bible and different things like that. And so I actually ordered the leader's book. It wasn't that much, and could be something that we use. And so when I get that, I will let you know, but I'll also put a link to that as well. And then I also ordered the Experiencing God for Teens Youth Edition, and I thought this might be a good thing that we could use for our retreat in the fall, and do more of a weekend on how do we experience God and live in His presence and get away for that, but then talk about what are ways that we do that each and every day. And so I got the leader's guide for that, and that comes with the DVDs as well. So I'll put a link for that up as well. One thing I need to look for still is kind of a dating and relationships series or curriculum, and so I'll be on the search for that. So that's that info, and that was long, but just wanted to keep you updated on kind of what we're looking at and what that might be, and then give you some stuff to look at and see what you think about these lessons, and we'll kind of go from there. Now let's talk about last night. We looked at the scripture Matthew 7, verses 1 through 6, and talked about witnessing. And the scripture is kind of odd because it's about judging and getting planks out of your eye before you get specks of dust out of other people's eye. And talks about, then it goes on to talk about don't throw pearls to pigs. So we did that. I had a plank and talked about how funny it was for Jesus's hearers that they would picture someone with a big plank in their eye and how awkward that would be, as well as we threw pearls at pigs and talked about how that's just kind of weird. And so to sum it up quickly, so this video doesn't get too long, we talked about how when we judge others, we try to control them. When we are judging, we're trying to either bring them to our level, bring them down to our level, and we're trying to make ourselves feel better. And so, and how does that relate to witnessing? In a nutshell, maybe what God calls us to is not to be these vocal people who are trying to shove Jesus down people's throat. But what he's really calling us to is to live an examined life. I think it was Socrates who said, an unexamined life is not worth living, or something to that effect. And, uh, and so how do we, and how does potentially our actions and how we're trying to live speak louder than words that we say? And so that maybe the best witness we could be is to be real and to say, you know what, I don't have it all figured out, but I'm doing my best to get planks out of my eye. And how do we focus on doing that and being the people that God's called us to be, and letting that speak for itself? And then we ended with the whole 1 Peter 3:15, uh, be ready to give an answer, and that maybe that's how we live, and that's how we are better witnesses than vocally and verbally trying to speak. And so it's not that speaking isn't important, but it has its place and its time. And how do we seek to live into that? I showed a video of the 3-story evangelism. I'll put that on here as well down at the bottom, so if you want to check that out. I may show it again Sunday because I think it's just a good talking point, and I got some good comments on the videos. So then we talked about how sometimes the pearls and the pigs, that the pearl is the good thing, the gospel, and the pigs are maybe our friends. Not that they're pigs, but he was saying, Jesus was trying to get across that pigs don't really care about pearls, that if you threw pearls in their pen, they wouldn't care. And here pearls are this priceless, very expensive thing. And how sometimes our friends aren't ready to hear the message. They're not ready to hear about Jesus because of whatever their life is going on. But if we live life on life and we are being real and we're not judging, but we're saying, you know what, I'm trying to figure this out, and this is what's happening in my life, and I don't have it all figured out, and I'm working on getting the plank out, that at the time they may not be ready, but they'll remember. And one day they may be in a situation where they come and ask us because they see the realness and of who we are, and the realness of trying to be who God's called us to be. So that's kind of how it all fit together. There are questions, obviously, a paper. And if you have any questions at all, please give me a call. Once again, it's about witnessing through living the life that God called us to, rather than being the bullhorn guy sitting on the corner, or being the person who walks around singing praise songs, although we can do that. But we just want to be people's friends and live life on life and be there for them. And then when they have situations, they will potentially ask us, how did you get through this? What was this like? And we kind of talked about how we really can't help others until we get over things ourselves. We can't help others until we've journeyed and we've gotten, once again, planks out of our own eye. So enjoy and have a great time, and we will see you Sunday. Bye.